market. Uh, we have a strait that remains closed. We have an AI manifesto from our own Mark Zuckerberg. CPI and PPI this week. Can we keep last week's great market going up? Is the VIX going to 13 or maybe 12? And of course, it's Ticker Highlight Show Monday. So I'm going to reveal the tickers we're going to trade in Ticker Highlight Show Premium. We've got a lot to cover. So let's dig in. Run some credits, Amin. Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Sebastian. I am the founder and CEO of OptionPit.com, and welcome to the State of the Market Show. It's great to be here. We have a lot to cover. Kicking off the markets today, we are pretty flat. You have the S&P up about, less than 0.1%. The NASDAQ is up less than 0.2%. RUT down a touch, Dow down a touch. All in all, about as flat as they come. VIX index, and I'm going to get into this a little more, is up 29 basis points. But remember, coming off a weekend, we expect the VIX to be up about 7 to 0.8%. This concept called weekend effect. I've written about it before, but it would take me 20 minutes to explain. But just know that on Monday, VIX generally should be up about 0.8%, and then that 0.8 kind of sucks out of VIX as the week rolls along. So with the VIX up 29 basis points, that's telling me that VIX is actually down today. You have some further erosion and volatility, and that's despite some of the the news on crude. Not Colgate Palmolive. I love that I type in CL and it thinks I care about what Palmolive has going on. As you can see, crude is up, still hanging around right around $80 a barrel. This is kind of the level, kind of a sweet spot for energy, $75 a barrel, somewhere in that range. That is a sweet spot where it's not going to affect demand, but the energy companies are absolutely making money hand over fist. It is the perfect spot. The one thing you have to worry about every time oil starts to get bid, it starts to have a negative effect on bond market, and that kind of opens up our whole can of worms. If you look at the 10-year yield, you can see it is up today, right around 4.7%. That is dangerously close to kind of areas where people start to get really worried. A 10-year at 5, I think, becomes a serious problem. And the U.S. 30-year also back above 5 and at 5.2, looking to break back over 5.25. Mortgage rates are approaching 7%. That is going to be a real impediment to housing as we move along. But that being said, with how slow everything is, this is going to be a very slow week. And I'm going to talk about this more tomorrow when we've got some more time. I think you're going to see the VIX into the 13s this week. And between now and August expiration, a week from Friday, there's a chance we see the VIX trade with a 12 handle. Right? You've got the yen. You have the yen starting stable, but starting to fall a little bit. You got oil pretty stable, and we're kind of past panicking on that. The bond market doesn't blow up. then you could see a couple weeks, summer doldrums of real kind of slow grinding market. And it could pull us pretty darn, and you could see VIX really get toasted. Now, we do have a couple of big reports this week. We have PPI and CPI. CPI first, then PPI. We also have a few other ones, but those are the two biggies. You have the S&P closing at an all-time high on Friday, sitting at an all-time high today. And with where we are on this pitchfork, we could be 7,900 or higher by the middle of next week. With that panic, with the way flows went, a lot of people went out and bought protection, both in VIX and in the S&P. So a hedged market, as we rally, can really lead to vol going lower. I see one of the best opportunities for the next 2 weeks is owning puts on August VIX options. We have a 1.5 point spread between that front month future and between the regular cash VIX. And so all things being equal, this time next week, VIX needs to be, if VIX stays around 15, which I think it's going to be lower, this VIX future is going to be 15.5 or lower this time next week. And then looking at the options, the 15 puts are a dime. They're 10 cents. If VIX really does fall toward 13, you're going to be talking about those $15 puts you bought for a dime. They could be 90 cents, maybe $1. It is a low risk, high reward play. One of my favorites. I may post something like this in special situations. Heck, I have puts on UVIX in special situations. We own the September 50 puts. They're up a little bit more than 25%. I think I'm going to get to sell those up maybe 100. Looking forward to that. All right, now, we still do have some earnings this week. Here's a few I'm watching that you can put on your radar. Rocket Lab is tonight. It is just bouncing off the lows. Rocket Lab is tonight. I think it could be an interesting one. You also have ASTS. On Tuesday, we get Light, Lumentum. You get CoreWeave. Wednesday's going to be the big one. You got Cisco, NBIS, and CBRS. And then probably the last big tech name to report until NVIDIA is going to be Applied Materials. So we still do have some earnings. We're through most of it, but there is still some earnings. It's very heavy space this week. All right, now I'm going to get into my ticker highlight show stocks in 1 second, but I wanted to point out this Zuckerberg manifesto. So they are, and this is big news, they are flipping their modeling of their AI model from closed to open, meaning anybody can look at it, deal with it, trade it, use it. An open model. And he wrote up all these reasons. He took swipes at OpenAI and Anthropic He came out in favor of distillation, which means model stealing, information from other models. And in terms of regulation, he said the relationship between governments and AI needs to be more dynamic than 30-day holds. He's not wrong about that one. Now, he's had some great ideas over the years. Buying Instagram, being his best. WhatsApp. Also some terrible ones. The metaverse. And what they've been doing with Llama up to this point has been nothing but a quagmire. But Meta is an interesting stock here. It is an interesting stock. All right. Now, it is Ticker Highlight Show Monday. So in about 10 minutes, I am going to go behind the paywall. And I'm going to be meeting with Leisha and Tim and Andrew and Hans. And we're going to go through these 5 stocks. And we're going to pick one trade that we like. We're going to trade it. We're going to have an entire plan presented to everybody that's there. And we're going to trade it through. Last week's trade was in Hood. It returned 83% overnight. We had a 55% win in USAR and a 94% in Now. Through the month of July, we did 5 trades, 4 winners. So, sounds fun, sounds exciting. I'd like you to join me. The best part about Ticker Highlight Show is that it's name your own price. So you click the link, you join us, and you can pay $5, $10, $20. You can pay $1 if you want. And you get access to a weekly show with 5 traders going through why they're doing a trade, modeling out how they want to manage the risk of the trade, what are their profit targets, and lots of follow-up emails and discussions throughout the week. And we're actually working right now to add even more amazing stuff to Ticker Highlight Show. So if you have not made the leap, I mean, for $5, I mean, I can't even get a decent cup of coffee at Starbucks for $5 anymore. Right? A Big Mac is more than $5 now. So it's a quarter pounder. And we're giving you weekly access to 5 professional traders. So I would just say, make the jump and join us. Click this link right here. We've got a bunch of cool stocks to look at. So let's run down, and I'm going to reveal the names of the stock that we like. We each put in one name we like and one name we dislike. So my name I liked, we'll start with the likes, is Oracle. And just as a value play, it's gotten so beaten, so wrecked. It's just starting to recover. I like Oracle at a minimum back to 150 and probably back to 160. You could see it's showing some momentum. I think the amount of unmitigated hate of Oracle is over. So I like that one higher. Tim likes UAC. It's a uranium play. I'm with him. I think uranium is heating up again. And you could see UAC, CCJ, nuclear plays like SMR or Oklo really start to lift off. Oklo is through their earnings. I believe they reported this morning. Was a bit of a disappointment. But, these energy plays, I especially on uranium, I like. Leisha, who got her start in the Citigroup pit unironically like Citigroup higher. I'm interested to see what she sees in this chart. Now, after earnings, now that their earnings are out, Hans sees the dip in Datadog as a buying opportunity. It's up today some more. You can see how ugly that drop was. Look at this. Boom. From 283 down to 229. Almost a 20% drop in a day. It's currently back to 249. But there may be more upside there. And Andrew, and I actually like this one as well. He's basically asking, hey, Netflix has made a recovery after their terrible earnings. It has closed the gap. It might be time to jump in. I'm probably with him. All right, now, so the ones we like are Oracle, ORCL, Uranium Energy Corp, UEC, Citigroup, C, Datadog, DDOG, and Netflix, NFLX. On the ones we don't love, I'm going to start with SanDisk. SNDK. Thank you. All right. Now, SanDisk is the worser of the memory names, US based. It's not Micron. If this whole sector got overbought and appears to be kind of revaluing itself, I think SanDisk is going to underperform Micron on the way lower. Tim is out on Planet Fitness. And I'll tell you, the chart looks bad. Their last earnings cycle was terrible. It's just broken lower and appears to be heading lower. It probably is heading to below $45 a share. So I hate that. I don't hate that. Leisha, hey, time to get out of SPY. Very interested to see her logic there. Very interested to see her logic. We're at all-time highs. Why is it time to get out of SPY? This is going to be the highlight of the Ticker Highlight Show Premium, I believe. Then Hans is done with Caterpillar. He says, you know what? They had great earnings, but I think it's rolling lower. And Andrew, with all the stories about the weakness in alcohol sales from out of Gen Z, I could see Constellation Brands having some problems. I mean, and I don't blame him. Anybody been to a bar and ordered a drink recently? In what world is a margarita $18? I don't blame him. So, Constellation Brands is another interesting one. It is another one interesting. So, the ones we dislike: SanDisk, SNDK, Planet Fitness, PLNT, The SPY, Caterpillar, ticker symbol CAT, and Constellation Brands, ticker symbol STZ. So there you have it. You can see our loves and hates below. Oracle on the love, Oracle, Netflix, Citigroup, Datadog, and UEC. For the hate, SanDisk, STZ, SPY, Caterpillar.
Hey, Mark? Hey, Mark? You muted yourself.
Oh, how did that happen?
Oh, no.
All right.
After Caterpillar.
So, folks, we are going to, we're now going to go behind the paywall and behind the curtain, and we're going to look at these 5 names, and we're going to pick one name to trade. maybe 2 if we really see 2 we like. So I'm going to invite you one more time. Join us in Ticker Highlight Show Premium because that is starting right now. If you are not a member, this is the end of the State of the Market show. I will be back with you guys tomorrow. We're going to have some great guests throughout the week. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. So I am Mark Sebastian. I am your only option. Thank you for being here. And as always, thank you, Amin.